Have you ever wondered why narcissists seem drawn to you? As a chosen one, you carry a divine purpose that makes you stand out. But along with that light, there's a dark side. Narcissists are attracted to your unique energy. Today, we're going to explore strange and unique reasons why you're attracting these manipulative personalities and how to stop it. This isn't your usual advice about boundaries or self-care. Instead, we'll dive into spiritual insights and unconventional wisdom tailored specifically for chosen ones like you. Let's reveal the hidden traps and how to reclaim your power. Unspoken spiritual frequencies that attract narcissists. As a chosen one, your soul radiates a unique energy, a spiritual frequency that comes from your deep connection with God. This frequency is not something everyone has. It's a reflection of your divine purpose, the calling God has placed on your life. But there's something you may not realize. Narcissists are highly attracted to this energy. Like moths drawn to a flame, they are pulled toward your light, not because they appreciate it, but because it highlights what they lack. Narcissists are empty inside. They may appear confident or charming on the outside, but deep within, they are disconnected from any real source of love or truth. Your spiritual frequency reminds them of this emptiness, creating a void they cannot fill on their own. Instead of seeking a connection to God to fill this void, they try to steal your light, hoping to use your divine energy to make themselves feel whole. But no matter how much they try, it never satisfies them, so they continue to chase after you, attempting to control or drain your energy. One of the most difficult truths about being a chosen one is that your very presence can unsettle a narcissist. When they encounter someone with a pure, unshakable connection to God, it disrupts the balance they're used to. They see in you something they will never have, a real sense of purpose, peace, and inner strength that comes from the divine. This makes them desperate to control or possess you, thinking that by doing so, they can somehow capture a piece of what you have. But what narcissists fail to understand is that your power doesn't come from anything external. It comes from your connection to God, and that's something they can never take away from you. Their world revolves around superficial things like power, status, and control, but as a chosen one, your strength is rooted in something much deeper. This is why narcissists are often so threatened by you. They sense a power in you that they cannot match or manipulate. Narcissists are constantly seeking validation. They need other people's approval and admiration to feel important. But your presence challenges that, because you don't need validation from anyone. You already know your worth comes from God, and this creates a stark contrast between you and them. Narcissists don't know how to handle someone who is confident in their identity without relying on external praise. So, they try to pull you down, making you question your value, your purpose, or your abilities. They want to drag you into their chaos because if you start to doubt yourself, you become easier to control. It's crucial to remember the words from 1 John 4:4. Greater is he who is in you than he who is in the world. This is your reminder that the light within you is stronger than anything a narcissist can throw your way. They might try to make you feel small, powerless, or insignificant. But the truth is, God's power in you far exceeds any manipulation or control they attempt. So, how do you stop attracting narcissists? The first step is to be mindful of the energy you project. As a chosen one, it's natural to want to help others, to lift up those who are struggling or lost. But narcissists are not looking for genuine help. They are looking for someone to exploit. Your empathy, your compassion, can sometimes make you a target because narcissists can sense when someone is willing to give without expecting anything in return. They see this as an opportunity to manipulate and drain your energy. But this doesn't mean you should close off your heart or stop caring for others. Instead, you must learn to discern who is worthy of your light. Not everyone who seeks your help is coming with good intentions. Narcissists are masters at pretending to be vulnerable or in need, only to manipulate your kindness for their own gain. You have to be careful not to let your compassion become a doorway for someone who wants to exploit it. The curse of emotional transparency and how to shield it. As a chosen one, you are blessed with the gift of emotional depth. You feel things deeply, and this emotional transparency is what makes you connect with others on a level most people can't. This gift comes from God and allows you to understand people, offer comfort, and be a source of love. However, this very openness also makes you vulnerable to those who don't have good intentions, specifically narcissists. They are experts at using emotions to control and manipulate, and your emotional transparency becomes a doorway for them to take advantage. Narcissists are drawn to emotional transparency like a magnet. They recognize your ability to feel deeply, and instead of respecting it, they exploit it. Narcissists know how to manipulate emotions to gain power over you, twisting your vulnerability into their advantage. It's not that you're too emotional or weak. It's that your emotional openness provides them with opportunities to control your reactions. They see your heart as something they can play with, pushing the right buttons to get the responses they want. You've probably heard the biblical phrase, "Don't cast your pearls before swine." Matthew 7:6. This applies to your emotions as well. Your heart, your feelings are your pearls, precious and valuable. Narcissists don't understand or appreciate the depth of your emotional world. To them, your emotions are just tools they can use to manipulate and control you. They don't see the beauty of your emotional transparency. They only see an opportunity to exploit it for their gain. Narcissists are often attracted to people who radiate kindness, love, and empathy. These traits give them something to manipulate. They see that you are emotionally available, and they use that availability to draw you into their games. It's like playing a game of chess, where the narcissist is always 5 steps ahead emotionally. They anticipate your reactions and know exactly how to use your feelings against you. For example, a narcissist might make you feel guilty for setting boundaries or manipulate your sympathy to get what they want. They will twist your emotions so that you start questioning yourself, your decisions, your worth, even your purpose. This is how they gain control. They aren't necessarily stronger than you. They just know how to manipulate your emotional openness. But there is a way to protect yourself without shutting down emotionally. You don't have to become cold or unfeeling to guard your heart from narcissists. Instead, you must learn the art of emotional shielding. This means being selective about when and with whom you share your emotional world. It's about practicing discernment, knowing when it's safe to be open and when it's wise to keep your heart protected. Proverbs 4:23 tells us, "Guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life." Your heart is where your emotions live, and your emotions play a significant role in shaping your decisions, your relationships, and your journey as a chosen one. Because of this, your heart is a divine gift, and like all precious things, it must be shielded from those who seek to harm or take advantage of it. This doesn't mean you have to close yourself off to the world. On the contrary, you should continue to radiate love and kindness, but you need to learn when to open your heart fully and when to keep it guarded. Narcissists will try to trick you into thinking that emotional openness is the same as emotional weakness, but it's not. True strength comes from knowing how to manage your emotions, not suppressing them. One way to practice emotional shielding is by being aware of who deserves to see your emotional depth. Not everyone is worthy of your emotional transparency. Some people will appreciate it and treat it with the respect it deserves, while others will try to exploit it. Learning to tell the difference between these two types of people is key to protecting yourself. The hidden weapon of silence and the narcissist's desperation. Silence is one of the most powerful and unexpected tools you have as a chosen one. Narcissists thrive on the reactions they get from you. They provoke, manipulate, and push buttons, all in the hopes of getting an emotional response. That reaction gives them power because they know they've controlled your emotions. But when you choose to remain silent, you take away that power. Silence is not a weakness. It's one of the strangest, most effective forms of resistance. Most people view silence as something passive, as though you're doing nothing. But in spiritual warfare, silence is far from passive. It's an active choice. When you remain silent, especially in the face of a narcissist's manipulations, you disrupt their control. Narcissists rely on your words, your reactions, to fuel their games. When they don't get a response, they are forced to face something they spend most of their lives avoiding: themselves. A narcissist is terrified of silence because it creates a void they can't fill. When you stop engaging with them, they are left alone with their own emptiness. Without your emotions to feed on, they become frustrated and desperate. They try harder to provoke you, pushing further in their attempts to get a rise out of you. But the more you resist, the more powerless they feel. Your silence strips them of the control they thought they had. There's a spiritual element to silence as well. Choosing not to respond immediately allows space for divine intervention. While a narcissist expects you to react, your stillness opens the door for God to step in. In Exodus 14:14, we are reminded, "The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still." Your silence isn't about ignoring the problem or letting things slide. It's about surrendering the situation to God, trusting that He will handle it in ways you can't. In many ways, silence is an act of faith. When you refuse to engage with a narcissist's manipulations, you're showing that you trust God's timing and God's justice. You're saying, "I don't need to fight this battle on my own. I know God is with me." This kind of faith terrifies a narcissist because it's something they cannot understand or control. Their world is built on manipulation, but your silence, rooted in trust and faith, completely disarms them. The next time a narcissist tries to provoke you, whether through hurtful words, manipulation, or attempts to make you feel small, try remaining silent. This doesn't mean you're submitting to them or agreeing with what they're doing. It means you're choosing a different path, one that aligns with your higher calling as a chosen one. Silence, in this case, is a sign of your strength, not weakness. When you remain silent, the narcissist loses one of their most valuable tools: your emotional reaction. They need you to respond to maintain their control, but silence denies them that satisfaction. It's a strange concept for them to grasp because they're used to being able to provoke a response from others. They don't know how to deal with someone who won't play their game. This silent resistance frustrates narcissists because they can't manipulate what they can't engage with. Over time, they may try harder to get a reaction, but if you stay firm in your silence, they will eventually give up or move on. Without your emotions to manipulate, they have no power over you. The narcissist's obsession with dimmed lights. As a chosen one, you carry a unique and undeniable light, something divine that sets you apart from others. This light comes from your connection to God, and it illuminates everything around you. You may not even realize the full extent of it, but others do, especially narcissists. Narcissists are drawn to bright lights because in their own darkness, they crave what they can't create themselves. They are naturally attracted to people who shine because that light reflects everything they lack: purpose, connection, and divine truth. The strange truth about being a chosen one is that you don't have to seek attention. It finds you. Your light stands out in any situation, and people are drawn to it. But while many will be drawn to your light with good intentions, narcissists see it as something they need to control or diminish. Narcissists can't snuff out your light completely, but they can try to make you doubt it. They chip away at your confidence, trying to make you feel small or insignificant. Over time, if you allow them to, they make you question your worth. This is how they win, not by extinguishing your light, but by convincing you that it's not as bright or powerful as it truly is. It's a gradual process. They may start with small comments or actions that make you second-guess yourself, slowly eroding your confidence until you begin to believe their lies. But remember what Jesus says in Matthew 5:14. "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden." Your light is not something that can be hidden or taken away by others, not unless you allow it. Your light comes from God, and no one, especially a narcissist, can take that away from you. Narcissists may try to dim your light, but their efforts are rooted in their own insecurity. They see something in you that reminds them of their own emptiness, and that's why they try so hard to bring you down. The key to protecting your light is recognizing the narcissist's tactics for what they are: desperate attempts to control something they don't understand. Narcissists are confused and frustrated by your light because they can't comprehend its source. They thrive in environments where they can manipulate and dominate, but your light makes that impossible. Instead of falling into their traps, stop engaging with their games. Stop seeking their approval, and most importantly, stop doubting your worth. It's important to guard your light, not by hiding it, but by standing firm in the truth of who you are. God chose you, and your light comes from Him. No amount of manipulation or control from a narcissist can take that away from you. They may try to make you doubt yourself, but the truth is, they are the ones filled with doubt. They are unsure of themselves and project that uncertainty onto others. When you recognize this, their attempts to bring you down lose their power. You have the ability to stop narcissists from dimming your light by no longer engaging in their toxic behavior. When they try to make you doubt yourself, remember where your light comes from. Stand firm in your identity as a chosen one and refuse to let anyone make you question your worth. Narcissists thrive on control, but they can't control someone who knows their true value. By understanding the source of your light and the real reason narcissists are drawn to it, you can protect yourself from their influence. Why narcissists feed on empathy and how to starve them. Empathy is one of the greatest gifts God gives to chosen ones. It allows you to connect deeply with others, understanding their pain and offering comfort when it's needed. This ability to care for people in a way that goes beyond the surface is part of what makes you special. However, this gift of empathy can also make you vulnerable. Narcissists are drawn to people with high levels of empathy because they see it as something they can exploit. They know that chosen ones are more likely to give without asking for anything in return, and that's exactly what they thrive on. Narcissists feed on empathy because it allows them to keep you trapped in their cycle of manipulation. They know that your natural tendency is to help, to offer support, and to give of yourself emotionally. But they take advantage of that by continually drawing from your well of compassion without giving anything back in return. The more you offer, the more they take, leaving you emotionally drained while they continue to feed on your kindness. It's important to understand that narcissists don't see your empathy as a gift. They see it as a resource they can use for their own benefit. The Bible offers wisdom for situations like this. In Matthew 10:16, Jesus says, "Be wise as serpents and innocent as doves." This means that while you should remain compassionate and kind, you must also be wise in how you offer that compassion. Empathy, though a beautiful trait, must be balanced with wisdom. Narcissists will try to manipulate your kindness, making you feel as though you're responsible for their well-being, when in fact, they are simply using you to meet their own emotional needs. Narcissists are skilled at playing the victim. They will exaggerate their hardships, make you feel guilty for not helping them, and twist situations to make it seem like they need your constant support. This is all part of their manipulation. They want you to feel sorry for them because that pity keeps you engaged. But the more you respond to their emotional games, the more they consume your energy. You become their emotional supply, and they'll continue to take from you as long as you allow it. One of the most important lessons you can learn as a chosen one is when to withhold your empathy. This doesn't mean shutting down or becoming hard-hearted. It means recognizing when someone is trying to manipulate your emotions rather than genuinely seeking help. You have the ability to sense when someone's intentions are not pure. This is where wisdom comes in. If you sense that a narcissist is feeding on your empathy, it's time to step back and reserve your emotional energy for those who truly need it. The key is to let God guide your empathy. Pray for discernment, asking God to reveal the true intentions of the people around you. Not everyone who comes to you for help is seeking genuine care. Some are only looking for ways to manipulate your kindness for their own benefit. When you pray for discernment, God will help you see the truth, allowing you to offer your empathy wisely and protect your emotional well-being. To starve a narcissist, you have to stop feeding them your empathy. This doesn't mean you become uncaring or unkind, but you become selective. Narcissists can't survive without someone to manipulate, without a steady supply of emotional energy to feed on. When you stop offering that supply, they will move on to someone else. It may feel difficult at first because, as a chosen one, you're naturally inclined to help others. But remember, your empathy is a precious gift, and it should only be given to those who appreciate and respect it. In the end, the way to stop attracting narcissists is to use your empathy with wisdom. By learning to withhold your emotional energy from those who only seek to drain you, you protect yourself from being trapped in their cycle. Your empathy remains a beautiful gift, but it's one that should be guarded carefully, given only to those who truly need and deserve it. Trust in God's guidance, and let Him show you where to direct your compassion so that you can continue to shine your light without letting narcissists take advantage of it. Breaking the narcissist's chain of control through divine detachment. Narcissists thrive on control. They want to dictate every part of your life, how you think, how you feel, and how you act. The more control they have, the more power they feel. But as a chosen one, you have a way to break this chain of control, and it's through something called divine detachment. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring or become cold. Instead, it's about trusting God enough to let go of the things you can't control, especially the behavior of a narcissist. Divine detachment means you stop letting the narcissist control your emotional state. You acknowledge their behavior, you see what they're doing, but you refuse to let it affect you. This is one of the most powerful ways to take back control from someone who thrives on manipulation. Narcissists love to get an emotional response from you, but when you practice detachment, you no longer react in the way they expect. They lose their hold on you because you stop playing their game. Think of how Jesus reacted when he was tested and mocked. He didn't engage in the small-minded games of his enemies because he knew his purpose was far greater. He stayed focused on his mission, and his peace came from his connection to God, not from the approval or opinions of those around him. This is the same approach you must take with narcissists. They will try to provoke you, to pull you into their chaos, but when you remain steadfast and grounded in your purpose, their attempts fall flat. Romans 12:2 says, "Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind." This verse speaks directly to the idea of detachment. It's a call to step away from the things in the world that try to control us, including narcissists. When you renew your mind through God's word, you stop reacting to the things that used to trigger you. You begin to see through the manipulations of the narcissist and choose not to engage. It's not about ignoring the situation, but about transforming how you respond to it. One of the hardest things about dealing with a narcissist is the constant push to provoke a reaction. They know exactly how to get under your skin, and they'll keep trying until they get the response they want. But with divine detachment, you don't give them that satisfaction. You remain calm and grounded, knowing that their behavior is part of their strategy to control you. By refusing to react, you take away their power. Divine detachment isn't just about stopping your reactions, it's about maintaining your peace. When you detach from the narcissist's games, you protect your inner peace. You recognize that their attempts to manipulate you are not a reflection of your worth or your purpose. They are simply tactics used by someone who is disconnected from their own sense of self. You don't need to be pulled into their world of chaos because you are grounded in something much stronger, your connection to God. Trusting in God is a big part of divine detachment. When you stop trying to control how the narcissist behaves or reacts, you let go of that burden. You leave the situation in God's hands, knowing that He will handle it in His perfect timing. This doesn't mean you accept abuse or mistreatment, but it does mean that you stop allowing their behavior to dictate your emotions and actions. You take a step back and trust that God is working, even when you can't see it. This is how you break the chain of control that narcissists try to place on you. You stop allowing their actions to affect how you feel, think, or act. You detach emotionally, trusting that God's plan for you is far greater than the games the narcissist is playing. As long as you stay focused on your spiritual purpose and maintain your peace, the narcissist's attempts to control you will fail. You no longer live in their world of manipulation because you are grounded in something much stronger, your faith and trust in God. You were chosen for a divine purpose, and no narcissist can take that away. By understanding these strange hidden tactics, you can protect your light, guard your heart, and stop attracting those who seek to manipulate you. Remember, you are a child of God, and your power comes from Him, not the approval of others. If this video resonated with you, leave a comment, share your experiences, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights on living as a chosen one. Together, we'll continue walking this path of divine purpose and protection. Peace be with you.